The UK population could grow by almost 5 million over the next decade, according to the latest estimate from the Office for National Statistics. Their figures suggest the increase would be almost entirely because of net migration. Well, in 2010, the UK population stood at 62.8 million. 12 years later, by 2022, it had increased to 67 million people. And the ONS projects that by mid-2032, that number will have risen further to 72.5 million people. Well, our home editor, Mark Easton, joins us now. Mark, what do today's figures tell us?
Well, I think these statistics reflect a huge challenge for the UK. The ONS reckons that deaths in Britain will outstrip births within 5 years, by 2029. And what that means is that without immigration or a huge increase in the number of babies being born, the UK population will shrink. Economic growth almost certainly would start to fall. And there would also be real questions about who's going to look after an increasing number of elderly people. So in the decade to 2032, the ONS is reckoning 6.8 million babies will be born, 6.8 million people will lose their lives, and net migration of 4.9 million. Now, the ONS is very nervous about estimating net migration because it's so affected by government policy and by the state of the economy. But their working assumption is that it will be 340,000 a year, net migration at that level, still very high. But even with migration at those very high levels, what's called the old age dependency ratio, the number of pensioners compared to the number of people in the working age population, that is going to rise. The ONS reckons it's going to rise significantly over the next few years and keep on rising. So while the political debate is currently about how many people should come to Britain and how quickly we should try and reduce those numbers, I think there is a social question here about the impact of negative natural change in our population when we have a situation of having more deaths than births.